Due to some scheduling conflicts, we've made a wrong turn, and we'll be rebroadcasting an old episode I recorded with my partner Ming, where we talk Infinity Pool. This is the Wrong Turn Podcast. Enjoy. Okay, welcome everybody. We have a special little segment called Midnight with Ming. Hi, Ming.
Oh, this is my part where I speak?
This is the part where you speak.
Hi, I'm Ming.
And today we're doing a quick little review of the movie Infinity Pool. Ming, what did you think about Infinity Pool?
Where the fuck do we even begin?
Oh, okay, so this movie was written by, it's Cronenberg's son. Which is basically, horror royalty, essentially. So this guy comes from like a lineage of his dad did a lot of horror movies, and basically this is him stepping up to the plate and following in his dad's footsteps, essentially. So it's kind of a little weird, I think you got that from that movie.
I didn't get weird, but like I said, where do we even begin?
So we could just start with the beginning of the movie. So we are at essentially a fictional country, a fictional resort.
Yeah, that nobody has done research.
Because if you would have gone, you would have been like, you would have been like, where
nay. Mm-mm.
You got a list of countries that you're not allowed to go to.
Well, for, mom purposes, but this one in the film, it is very clear that the main character and his wife did not research this fucking place.
Yeah, you think you would have like known if the country was safe for tourism. You think you would have, essentially known if there was fences with barbed wire outside the resort.
Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Yeah. Now, can we talk about like the movie? Are we going to give it away? Or
yeah, we can give it away. Okay. All right, so like we can go through the film step by step, right? So then you can give me your impressions of it as we go through it, or we can just talk about it like free form, whatever you want.
I mean, that's what I'm going to do. But you mentioned it's a gated little resort, right?
With like military security.
Now, ask yourself, everybody sit back, think about it. If this place is super gated and there's barbed wire everywhere, do you think you would just cruise around town with some people you just met? Hell no.
And, well, some people are like that, too. Like, I've been on...
And she has no eyebrows. That's suspicious.
Ming is talking about the character played by being a goth known as Gabby, who essentially means no eyebrows or beach ball. And this right here, this is freaky as shit right here.
Oh, the part where they're wearing masks, where it's very native to their country.
100%. So it's native to their country, which I think was just made up. It's a made up country.
But it's all gory.
It's super fun. I mean, like, this is what I mean by like... the guy's name is Brandon Cronenberg. So now I sound like I know what I'm talking about. This is kind of like sort of like that weird, grotesque part that I think he might be known for a little bit.
For visual purposes, I would say Tool Sober, that type of video vibe. That is what I'm getting.
Oh, all right,
like
deep cut. All right. Well, I will give you this. These masks do play into the characters you meet later in the movie.
That's true.
So, like, if you see one, like right now, there's one with like money coming out of their mouth, and you might relate this to some of the rich characters. And like one of them is kind of like Double Eyes, and one of them is like the Jester, which Mila Goth's character is essentially the Jester, which has a bunch of fucking connotations to it, essentially.
No brows.
No brows.
No brows, McGee. Okay.
Mia Goth will be referred to as no brows.
I already forgot her name.
And plus this fucking guy from, what's this guy? True Blood. What's his name in True Blood?
The guy from True Blood.
The Skarsgård. Today will be the second day. Today will be the second time I'll be talking about a Skarsgård in a movie today. So like these guys are fucking everywhere. It's a big family. Mm-hmm. And they're all in movies and TV.
I mean, hooray.
It's like, right? Okay.
Hooray. Mm-hmm.
And right here, so we're seeing that is it Bill Skarsgård? No, Alexander Skarsgård's wife, played by Cleopatra Coleman, which is his wife's character's name is M. Foster, is basically trying to get him to go out to Chinese restaurant at the resort. And he's just like, fuck that Chinese food.
First off, side note. She's very patient in this movie because as I was watching it, I was like, would have left his ass right then and there, fucking take a plate of pancakes and be like, nope.
You would have had that continental breakfast to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, right. You're like, if you're on vacation, you're going to be doing all the fucking things.
Yeah.
Right?
Like in the beginning of the movie, there's a lot of feels because you start thinking the guy's a douchebag.
Oh, 100%.
And it doesn't go away, that feeling.
No, the guy's a douchebag and he's...
And then you feel a little sorry for him, but not really.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So essentially, he's just like, he's on vacation, but he's not fucking... And then later we come to find out that he's basically married into money. You know, like she's fucking loaded.
She's loaded because her dad owns like the
publishing house where oh, look at that. And then here we have Mia Goth, No Brows flirting with McGee. Flirting with Skarsgård, you know, and he's a married man and obviously he doesn't want to be there. And the country's called I can't even pronounce the name of this fucking country. Taqwa, something like that. I'm really bad with this right now.
Sounds like a seltzer water.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming this is a made up country because if this was.
Of course. Again, nobody has researched. Like, it's very clear they did not do any research going to this place. So in the film, there's like everybody's on the beach, I guess, eating breakfast. And then someone storms the beach. I guess one of the natives and just like goes in and like causes like a ruckus.
Yeah, it's like a political thing. So we're hinting that this country is basically a little bit unstable, you know.
A little bit.
Yeah, so somebody, either one of the locals or one of the people that work there kind of made like sort of a political thing, which we aren't really clear what it is. We just sort of see like somebody just making a bunch of donuts on the beach amongst all the tourists. And then we're introduced to No Brows McGee and No Brows McGee's husband, who is French, Swedish, something or other. And then she flirts with him and then she invites him out to dinner and they end up at the Chinese restaurant that he didn't want to go to anyway.
Yeah. So then he goes to this restaurant and it's very clear, like she's like hitting on him. And she's like, I read your book. Mind you, the book was a flop. It was terrible. Nobody read it.
Two people read it.
And then there was like shitty, I guess, Yelp reviews. Let's just say Yelp or Amazon.
Yeah. Goodreads, whatever the fuck. So they're at the shitty.
Those are warning signs.
Those are, I mean, like, all right, couples want to hang out with other couples sometimes, right? Because it's more fun, you know, like, but would you have shut that down immediately?
Yes. Absolutely.
If your dude's like,
absolutely.
Your dude comes home and he's just like, yeah, this couple, I met this lady at the beach.
I'd be like, that lady has no eyebrows. She creepy. There's something she's hiding. Yeah. There's sadness behind those eyes. I'm like, she's a killer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of, I mean, No Brows does give like a little bit of unsettling, crazy vibes right here. So we find out that No Brows is essentially a infomercial actress and her husband's an architect. And is that where we find out that, you know, Skarsgård is a struggling writer with one book and no attempts to write a second book or difficult attempts to write a second book. Oh, look, she does have some brows, you know?
Again, there's no eyebrows there. And a lot of thick eyeliner. Now, I wear thick eyeliner myself and brows, but that's just weird. And that's me saying that's weird. And I'm weird. Mm-hmm.
You have like a half a eyebrow when you're not like, you know?
That's from overplucking, but that's another
But they look like they're there.
It's an illusion.
So then, like, I do like this right here where it's the the failed infomercial where like,
Oh, she's like, oh my God, look at this knife that's not cutting the bread. Now look at it. Oh my God, it's so hard.
she's like,
La 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 la.
you just can't cut bread with a knife. You need the button chop.
Now,
That's a
this
good
is where it's a little suspicious, where she's very like quick to give compliments, like want to be liked. I know it's just
Well, she's all right. So I'll give you this. So she is an actress, and she is acting the part and getting him, like flirting with him. Like, look at that look right there.
but they're flirting with each other and their partners are like right across each other.
Yeah, from
And his wife, not the no eyebrows McGee, but
Skarsgård.
yeah, the one that her
M. Her name is M.
M.
Yeah, or we call
dude,
her.
she's beautiful.
Let's call her bookwife.
I mean, she looks like a young Sade.
Dude, she
Beautiful.
I was like, Skarsgård did.
I mean,
He punched up. He's punching
okay.
up.
But then it's just like, bruh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You married rich. You gotta be.
I mean, and she's beautiful. She looks like Sade.
Gotta be kissing her feet.
I mean, he needs to be kissing something, but he doesn't. He's just stupid.
Acting like a piece of shit.
He is a stupid
Taking her
shit.
for granted.
Yeah. Now, don't quote me that she looks like a very young Sade. It's just.
I mean, like, I thought she is African American, but then, like, at some points in the movie, I couldn't
She's beautiful.
tell.
Absolutely beautiful.
Like here, I think she's African American, but I can't, or African descent or black descent, but like,
it doesn't matter. She is beautiful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then, like, later
Hands
in the
down.
movie, so, like, hence the Sade reference.
Yes.
But, okay. So, and she's obviously flirting with him. She's playing into his fucking ego and, you know, his writer persona. And then they invite him out to go out the next day for lunch outside the compound. And they're going to be doing essentially a little picnic. You know, they're going to be having a little picnic out by the coast. They know a spot.
But important questions were never asked. Like, hey, have you guys done this before? Wow, we are passing gates with barbed wire.
Oh, they mention it too. They mention it.
And again, nobody has researched this place. Now, this place is like, is it a commie? Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Their rules are insane. The way of living, like little kids got little eye tattoos, like, you know, like little son there. It's wild.
It's one of those things where, like, it's some South American countries, like the police are very militant. Like when I went down to South America, the police officers are at every corner and they got like automatic weapons. So you could just see more so it's not too out of the reach, almost a third world. No, actually, no, it's pretty much a third world country.
It's a third, yeah. Very poor, very
poor. And here we have
primitive almost, but yeah.
We have bookwife not wanting to go. You know, she's like, I don't want to fucking go out.
She was smart. She was smart, but I mean, she gets pushed into it, I guess.
I don't have a lot of friends, so like that's probably one of the reasons because I don't go out when people just randomly invite me. It is said that Skarsgård here does say like, oh yeah, they do this every year. They rent a car and they go out, and actually that just kind of leads you to believe that like what the things we find out in the movie. Mm-hmm. That like they do this every fucking year. So the things that happen to Bill Skarsgård later in this movie, or Alexander Skarsgård, whatever the fuck his name is, like they do this all the fucking time to somebody else. Oh yeah, so here we have the fence, the crazy fence. I
mean, it's beautiful. This place is beautiful.
Yeah,
but it's just those key things like nobody did research. They're passing like barbed wire and nobody's like, this is like wild. And it's like, they're in a convertible. I wouldn't feel safe, like just rolling.
Actually,
out.
You're fair. You got.
It's like, a convertible, you might as well just be like with targets on you, you know?
I mean, yeah, you got a point. Every time I was in South America, like you're very cautious of like where you were, who's around you, and like these people just stroll out like it's all good, and it was weird. So like here we see that the locals are actually fenced away from the streets, like a fucking exhibit. It's kind of fucking weird.
And I don't even think they have like electricity. Like
they look like that was straight third world.
Yeah, it's very third world. Like it's very rural. Like
And then here you have these tourists in this nice ass fucking convertible, just being like la di da di da. All right, so here we got this nice little coast, and it is beautiful. The water is
it's a beautiful, but it comes with a price, and the price is. Then I know that they're gonna like have a little barbecue. They're gonna drink, have fun, and then that's when all shit starts going down.
So we're gonna fast forward a little bit. They have their bar. And this is just a clear example. Like, oh yeah, this beautiful place, but there's fucking broken down cars like on the beach. Mm-hmm. And it's not even really like a beach, but like a little.
Side note: my sister had that Buick that's like on the That thing was a champ.
It always comes in like burgundy red too.
She had it in burgundy red. Sorry,
that was even before I knew you. She didn't have that when I knew you. Right? No. So yeah. So then we getting fucking.
They're all wasted.
Yeah, getting
eating sausages.
Sausages and.
So I know, like on a picnic, if somebody just packed wine and sausages, I would be like, "This is."
You don't trust these people at all. So just like anything.
I don't trust anybody.
That's fair.
And just remember that trust needs to be earned. Trust no one.
Mm-hmm. Trust nobody. That's how you stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
And here they're talking about. So here's a kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. I think his name is Alban, or Albane. I can't remember his character. The architect is basically just saying like he would eat him up, like he would feed him with rosemary, and essentially this is kind of foreshadowing things to come. They do kind of, spoiler alert, they do kind of eat him up essentially, kind of like emotionally and psychologically, and spit him back out. They fuck with them. They fuck with them hard. And here we're coming to it too. All right, so they get drunk. Everybody's fucked up. Skarsgård says then we have this little scene right here. Essentially he gets what he wants.
Okay, so fast forward. This is where No Eyebrows McGee
sneaks up
spots
True Blood here.
True Blood, homeboy. And he's just peeing because obviously he's been eating all this sausages and drinking all this wine. And she like gives him a hand job. And like, he just comes real fast, whatever. So now it's fucking weird. Then it's fast forward from that. It's getting late. And this is the part where it's a little bit like, shit's going to go down because it's dark. Everybody's been drinking. And then
nothing's happened yet. So we know something's happened yet. So we know something's coming.
But it's coming. They're in a convertible, and it's just whatever.
Like a Cadillac convertible.
So he passes the key to
True
Blood. And everybody's like in another dimension.
Everybody's
drunk.
Knocked the fuck
then
out.
It's you question after watching the movie, do you think that they really were drinking?
Well, actually, I think so.
Yes. Sorry. Because they made that comment, but
they make that, which we'll refer to in a little bit. But yeah, I think everybody's passed out. And see, what I don't know if really happened is like, I don't know if all right, so here we have True Blood driving in like a fucking dirt road, in the middle of, or at night. There's no lights anywhere because like Ming said, this is a rural country.
And he's intoxicated.
Everybody's drunk, which
is funny that he's just like, I can drive.
Says the most drunk person in the room all the time. Yeah, I got you. And then the lights started. So part of me, I wanted to believe that like maybe the lights were always working and he was just like nodding off to sleep.
Maybe. But this is the part that gets me. Okay. So his headlights are flashing. He's like tinkering with that. And he's driving. And all of a sudden, boom, he hits something.
See.
But then how did you not hear the car coming? Right?
Oh.
How did you not see the flicker of the light? Right?
Oh, plot hole. That's a plot hole.
I mean, if I'm walking in the dark, which I don't just go walking in the dark, in a farm.
You don't go out past 6. You don't. Once the sun's down, you don't go out.
No, that's the witching hour. But
that's how you stay alive.
That's how you stay alive, guys. But yeah, so he hits a farmer. And then all of a sudden, the No Eyebrows McGee is just like, James, get back in the car because this country is,
they will fuck you up.
they
in this
will
country.
fuck you up.
Like they will arrest us. They will separate us. They're gonna rape your wife.
Yeah. Just get in the car and we'll deal with it in the morning.
God, what the fuck do you mean? Just deal with it in the fucking morning?
I'd be like, we're no homies.
Yeah, we just like
we ain't homies.
I mean, but also like, what do you do in that situation? Because like, yeah, what if you call the cops? Yeah, she's very too calm right now. She's just like, yeah, we're not calling the cops. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, get in them. She's like, you don't know about the jail here.
Yeah, this is a filthy and brutal country. Get back in the car now.
Which it is. She's not wrong. She's not wrong, but yeah. And the poor wife.
Ooh.
Oh, she's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is happening?
And just to like lay it on thick, she's like, they will fucking rape her. So get in the fucking car.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, they brutally kill, which essentially he's a farmer, but he looks like a kid. Like it looks like he murdered like some teenage boy.
So then they start walking back.
And this
the gated community.
Yeah, it says it's a resort, but when you're coming into the entrance, it looks like a compound. And they say that they accidentally walked outside, and if they can go back in. So the resort's called Palaqua, and then I think the country's called Lotuqua. I'm just gonna fucking butcher the name. So yeah, they eventually get back in. Everybody's fucking distraught. True Blood throws up, and then it's the next morning, and they are hung the fuck over. But you know what? I always drink a lot of water when I drink.
Well, so you didn't get in the car and hit somebody. But then, as everybody's sleeping, he gets a huge knock, like da da da, at the door. And guess who it is? It's fucking the popo.
At this time,
with tattoos on their face. Okay,
yeah, it's like a very, I guess, like patriotic thing to like put like two marks. So essentially, we know this is a made up country because like no, I don't think any country really has it. And we see more of the countryside and just basically how desolate this place is. And at one point, I thought like the other couple, No Brows and the architect, had basically
snitched him out, right?
Slowly snitched him out because like where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
And then we see like their language and how it's just like a weird scrawl. So we know this place is kind of made up. She's freaking the fuck out because that's
poor
what
girl.
you do.
I know, yeah. She's having a full-on panic attack.
Oof.
It's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's all his fault.
I've definitely heard that before.
So then they go and separate them.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah, they separate them and then they're interrogated.
Yeah, they're interrogated.
Yeah.
They're interrogated. True Blood is met with this actor, which I've seen him before.
And he made him put on they made him put on a gown.
Yeah, essentially kind of like I mean, I guess in this prison you could put on some sort of like hospital gown. Let's see here. I know this actor from something, but it's not really that important right now. But we do essentially meet like the head police chief in charge. And this is, I can't even pronounce that fucking name. And it turns out this police chief is actually the cousin of the guy they borrowed the car from.
Yeah, so let's go into this. This is when things start escalating. Right? Okay. Now, Edgar took a good go. All right, so where the fuck do we begin with this? Okay, go.
So this detective, which is the cousin of the guy they rented the car from.
Yeah.
So the guy they rented the car from, his name is Thresh, and this is Thresh's cousin, Detective Thresh. Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, you think I wouldn't find out? He's my fucking cousin.
But then he said, I need you to tell me that he wasn't involved so he doesn't get in trouble.
100%.
So that's when he was like, he did not get involved, and he's not going to get in trouble.
Which he does do, and you think he's like, oh, well, this detective's just being nice. I'm not going to get his cousin in trouble, yada, yada, yada. And then he just like, all right, so you basically stole Thresh's car.
Yes.
Basically adding another crime to his fucking, I guess, list of crimes because they don't think they were supposed to leave the compound. They were probably drinking and driving, and they fucking murdered somebody. Yes. Or at least he did. Detective Thresh here basically tells him that basically your wife just told us everything, which you don't know if his wife, that's a detective thing. You've seen First 48. You've seen all these true crime things.
I would snitch you out. Hell no. But like, listen, listen. I didn't want to leave. I love him, but I'm not jail worthy.
You would You would have ratted me out?
I mean, I'm not staying there. Are you insane?
No, I would have heard the end of it.
Oh,
I would have been like, I told you not to leave.
No. You would be like, I hear a cat crying. You're like, oh, that's me yelling.
Okay. So then basically Detective Thresh is just basically saying that, look, like, because of tourist laws and yada, 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 you can have yourself doubled, and that will take the essentially execution that you're going to be sentenced to. And apparently this country has some sort of basically cloning science that nobody else has been able to fucking
But
provide.
it's expensive. Only the rich can afford this. So basically, if you commit a crime here, if you have enough money, you can make a copy of yourself. And you have to sign some papers.
Which these papers are in another fucking language. So you don't know what the fuck you're signing.
That's true.
Should have gotten a lawyer. Should have never signed anything. You learn all this in the first 48. You got to watch that show. You never talk to the cops. Shouldn't have fucking said anything.
I mean, if we're going to start from the beginning, I don't know how many times I said, if it's a gated community, you don't just roll out with strangers in a convertible. But this is a movie. So fast forward. He decides he's going to take the clone option, but he doesn't know it's a clone yet.
He doesn't even really
he has
understand
no
what's
idea.
going on. He is hung the fuck
He doesn't
over.
know. So then all of a sudden, like, you know, they're talking a little bit more, and then his wife and him meet up.
Oh, well, let's see here. No. He says, like, you're going to be cloned and just fill this paperwork for a substantial fee. And then you got to go home today, essentially, which is like, yeah, if you tell me I'm going home and if I could afford it, I mean,
this is where it gets really fucked up.
This is where it gets really weird with like the
cloning. So the reason
they never say the word clone either. They say physical double.
Okay, so let's just use their words, the doubles, right? There's a reason why they're making a copy of him. So let's go back to when he was a drunk McGee in the car with everybody. The guy that he hit, right? His family.
Oh,
it's going to be there.
This is the way, which I love this part right here. Going back 1 second. So just a random ATM in the prison, like a random ATM, so you can just take out a shitload of money.
Which is funny, but like, can you imagine if it's like in US dollars, it's $20? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like also like their money. I bet their money goes really fucking far in this fucking country. And like I like the security officer just like looking at his PIN number, like, yeah.
I mean,
all right. So then you're right. Wait, what was your point? What were you saying a second ago?
I don't know. Where are you going with this? Sorry, they started like unraveling, and I'm like, are they going to show his booty? They do. Okay, so they show his butt, right? His butt. And then he's holding his junk. So he's getting led into a room. And he's like, what is happening? And this is when the procedure starts.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if somebody comes up to you and just like, oh, the way, so he basically says like, would you prefer to get executed or would you just prefer to be doubled? I mean, essentially. And of course, anybody's going to take that option. Anybody's going to say that if you can afford it, right? And the way executions are doled out here is the family of the victims.
So if you do something wrong, kind of like if you hit someone, the family gets to take their revenge out on you, but / not really, because it's the clone you.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a weird sort of justice. And then Skarsgård gets naked. He gets into a pit of ketchup. And this is the way they do, which I like it.
Ketchup or jam, whatever you prefer.
The jam room. So, and he's basically has like a weird thing in his mouth and he's got a condom on his head. And it's just like, I like the way they do this. It's very like low effects. Like, yeah, we're just going to flash a bunch of lights. We don't need to explain shit to you. Just believe it. And you keep going on with it because the story is pretty decent. You know? So you can, and it's very disorienting. And
so the process of creating this clone, it's kind of like a discoteca thing situation. And the whole time he's kind of visualizing this girl.
Oh, yeah.
Not his wife, but this girl. And she's naked and she's doing her little go-go dancing. And he's in his little jam suit, and there goes all the lights and everything.
And part of me just thinks like it's him just thinking like it wasn't fucking worth it. This dumb fucking broad who just got me fucking because I wanted to go fucking flirt with her. I killed somebody.
I mean, the way it's filmed, it's like it's kind of everything's happening at once. Like it was kind of like I can see where it's like maybe got pushed into it, like he was just going with the flow. But yeah, this is when he wakes up and you realize this is not really him. This is the clone.
Actually, no, this is...
Oh, this is him.
This is him. But then again, is it? Like, we don't fucking know.
You never know.
From the beginning, like, we think, like, that's all we can think about when we watch this scene, like, oh, they fucked it up, or they do this on purpose, where they kill the real person, and then it's your double that goes live off. And then we get to see the double in this red room, and, you know, Skarsgård is just, like, in fucking disbelief. And basically, like part of the contract or part of the deal is that you have to witness your own death.
Okay, pause for a second.
Yeah.
So as the clone is being born, right? He's all passed out and stuff, and all of a sudden, like he's going up to his like body, his clone, and he's just like, "Holy fuck!" It's happening. Like it happened.
I would freak the fuck out.
I would totally freak the fuck out. And then what will freak me the fuck out even more when it just awakens and it's like, you know, like
gasping for breath.
Oh my God, shit my pants. Like it's gasping for air.
And all you think about is like,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But then it gets weird that when it's time for revenge, I guess. The execution. Yeah. And he's like, the clone is like basically tied up.
The clone basically thinks he's the...
Yeah, and he says his wife's name. And it's like his memories are his memories are, does that make sense? Like
it's so the whole thing is that they make a copy of you from that point and it is you essentially. So hence you're going to feel, you know, guilt and you're going to want redemption and you're going to feel sadness and you're going to be afraid for your life. And that's what they want. Essentially they want, because what's the point of killing somebody who doesn't want to be killed, especially, or doesn't, you know, ask for forgiveness.
So, okay, fast forward a couple minutes. So then you realize like the farmer's family is in the room and the oldest son, which is probably like 11,
yeah, that kid's young,
has a knife and he's going to take his revenge. And then he's watching his clone and his face, you would think like he would be like scared. He's smiling.
Yeah. So True Blood watches True Blood get himself murdered by an 11-year-old boy who's just stabbed repeatedly in the stomach, which is pretty fucking brutal.
And his wife is just like,
ooh.
She can't even look. But
yeah, can't blame her.
He's enjoying it. He's enjoying someone stabbing himself.
Yeah, you start to see like, and you sort of see this weird fucking smile come across his face that his wife totally notices. Yeah, there it is. You know, like he's fasting, like he's watching fucking porn.
I mean, pack your shit up, girl, and bounce. I would have bounced. And then they give you an urn of yourself, and they're like, have a great day.
Yeah, have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Come back again. So then they get escorted back to the resort.
And she's like, we're fucking leaving right now.
I want to fucking leave. And he's just like, I can't find my passport. I can't find my passport. And she's like, we need to fucking leave. And then it's like nighttime. She can't sleep because she saw some shit.
Oh.
She saw some shit. She knew that like, this is not the guy I married.
Oh, 100%.
Well, and then she was like, didn't she question him right here? Like, I saw your face.
Oh, yeah. Watch, like, she's like, he says, what do you say? He's trying to get her to leave without him because essentially he's like, yeah, you should just go. And then I think it's this line here where he says, how could you? As like, how could you just sit there and just watch?
That is crazy. Yeah.
And watch it all happen.
Yeah. So it's like, can you imagine you married somebody and you think you know them and then you are just like, in one day you realize you fucking don't know this person.
I mean, but also like he just went through like a very life-changing thing.
if I saw your face and they made a clone of you and I look over and you're smiling,
Be like, yo, Ming, check this out.
I'd be like, you're a fucking sociopath.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah. Like, you could say like the normal gut reaction would have been to like also be scared and freak the fuck out.
So at nighttime, he obviously can't sleep. She's like, whatever.
She's disgusted with him.
So he
goes out for a
starts
drink.
wandering the halls, the lobby area. And guess who's sitting right there? Just with her little arm, like, hi, James. I'm so sorry.
It's funny you remembered her name, but it's because you hear her say it so many times.
Yeah, James. Okay, that whole part where I'm like, James, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. But
he's trying to look distraught. He's trying to look like he's fucking. Oh, yeah. So he pays for another week because he's like, I can't find my passport, so I might as well just stay another week.
And apparently people leave around raining season.
Yeah, so the tourist season is basically coming to an end. He finds No Brows McGee over here. She comes up to him. Look at this little trot.
And she's like, James, are you leaving us? Are you leaving us?
Which also makes us feel like
but
they're always there.
You realize like they have a connection. And you know what the connection is?
So
she invites him back.
Well, no. I think it right here. She says it too that her husband went through the same thing.
Yeah. So, okay. Her husband was designing something, right?
He was designing another resort.
And then something fell on a worker.
100%. Like some construction.
They blamed them.
The architect.
They blamed them both, actually.
Yeah. They blamed them both? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went through the same process. They were basically convicted of a crime. They had to be executed. And then they saw their own deaths. And apparently these people kind of go through this fucking thing where it's perverse, but they love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're not alone. They have other friends as well.
So they're invited. So James is invited over to No Brows's cabana. And
okay, what is her name?
Her name is Gabby, I think.
Okay.
Character.
Gabby. Yeah, so Gabby invites him back, invites James back. And there's all these people there. And he's just like, what? And they're all drinking champagne, having a great time.
Not even champagne, like just straight, like they're just taking
straight
shots.
That's right. Like taking some Jameson shots, just, hanging out.
And basically everybody here is money. And they've all been through the same process.
They've been through the same process. And then one of them, he brought up a very interesting thing. He was just like, you ever think that they killed you instead of the clone? And you forget like what is real and fake, right?
It could be. That could be part of it. Like it could be the country's way of like dishing out its own justice. Like they will kill the original person and this clone just goes off and then this person's just kind of a copy and might be why they're all kind of fucked up, They're
so fucked up.
They're also like
they suck.
They all think themselves as a part of a elite, group of people that have seen their own deaths and that they can just do whatever the fuck they want. They essentially have some sort of weird loophole of immortality where they can do whatever the fuck they want and just pay to have themselves, get out of it.
But they do it because they're bored.
Oh, yeah.
They're basically doing this because they're bored. So, okay, we're at the part now where they're just like drinking and then they drink even more. And then he goes, James, he wanted something back from that guy's house.
Oh, yeah. It's, I forgot what it is. Let's see. We'll get to
she
it.
goes, do you trust me, James? Do you trust me?
Oh, yeah.
Do you trust me,
she's
James?
Definitely playing into his like little crush, So essentially he will do whatever the fuck. So things are getting rowdy.
Oh, they're completely wasted.
Yeah, completely wasted. Rich people with nothing to do but just get drunk. And I think, let's see here. What does he say? They have to go to basically this politician's house that also lives on the resort.
Wait, it is a politician's house. The guy who, I guess, executed them, or he like ratted them out or something. I'm not 100% sure. Fast forward just a little bit.
Oh, so they just want to steal something from the guy. Oh, they're just fucking with people.
Yeah, so they just want to steal something from this guy's house. And they're like, James, oh my God, let's do it today, James.
Yeah.
And then...
Are you one of us?
I
Like,
don't know.
very, very Lost Boys,
Yeah.
you know? Like one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so... Skip few, they go to the guy's house,
No,
right?
right
they
here
break in.
Right here they go to the gift shop, and of course, they need, as any good criminal, they need masks, right? So
Oh, that's right. They take those masks.
Yeah. So then they take the masks, and then they have this like weird little montage where you see, and this is James's mask, which is like a sort of deformed, maybe pig creature. And then this one with the fucking holes, which fucking creeps me the fuck out. This one, which might be like a beautician. This guy with the fucking 6 eyes. This one with the money.
That's greed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can see like how
Two-Face.
The jester, which could also be like in a lot of stories of truth. The jester is usually the truth teller, but always does it in a fucking
and
weird,
there you go
manner.
in that convertible again.
Everybody's got convertibles.
I mean,
these giant fucking.
They're rolling around with the mask on, so they're going to Papi Chulo's house.
And I thought they were still on the resort. So how big is this fucking resort that they got to drive to this other fucking person's house?
How do they know where he lives? That's
yeah, because they did their research.
They researched. That's right. They were smart.
Mm-hmm. They did the research. They break into the. Oh wait, so this is James. Everybody's drunk as fuck.
Oh yeah, super drunk.
James is trying to break into the house, which I'm surprised he really went, but he's all in right now, you know. And he's trying to open up the door. He's trying to be slick about it. And next thing you know,
I believe the maid opens the door. So he goes flying in. They start wrestling around. Then all of them come in and then they grab the maid. They have a gun.
And I was really surprised though, because I was like, for a second, I thought they wanted him to just do it by himself. And I'm like, why would you go do that? They're all in on it.
Oh, they're all in. So then he gets caught.
Yeah, they find this politician. He's having, apparently, I don't know if it's like a whorehouse or like he just.
No, that's his house.
Yeah. So is there more than one girl?
No, it's the maid and the girl he was porking.
Yeah.
Poor girl.
So, which I don't really like understand like what their end game was, because they find the medal.
Yeah, they were looking for a medal.
And then I don't know
and
why.
And they're like, hey, we got the medal. And then they lined them all up in the living room. And then they bound gag. So they have the girl that he was,
sleeping with.
And then him and like the poor little maid.
Yeah.
Or housekeeper or house attendant.
The lady of the house. She's taking care of that. It's a big house. It takes a lot of work. Apparently taking care of a house or studio apartment is a lot of work.
Everything just magically ends up clean.
Everything just magically ends up clean. So then I don't understand why they're still there though. Like they got the medal. Why don't they just fucking bounce? And they're really trying to push James to fucking limit here.
It's not them. It's her.
No brows, Gabby McGee.
She is like pushing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, James, have you ever held a gun before? It's just like so empowering and blah, blah, blah. And he's wearing the mask. She's not.
Which I'm like, you're still.
Like, and I can't remember if she pulls the trigger. No, somebody comes busting in. And then it's like a shootout.
There's a security guard there. And turns out, yeah, there's a shootout. She's trying to get him to fucking murder this fucking, I guess, politician or whatever the fuck for this country. And he's like, this guy's an asshole, whatever, yeah. I don't even think it really matters. Everybody's getting drunk. They were basically robbing the place, which, I'm surprised they haven't left already. And then fucking the architect is just showing his face. I'm like, why are you showing your face? They know exactly who you are right now if you're not going to murder everybody, which they might murder everybody.
You don't know their intent, but it kind of, here's the security guard.
Yeah.
He's not on my watch.
And here we have the shootout. Everything gets fucked up.
Oh, she shoots the bodyguard.
The lady that was being slept with gets shot in the back. She's dripping blood. And then some people get shot. And then all the fucking band of thieves here, this fucking brain trust.
They go back to the resort and they're like, ha 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 ha, we're so cool. And then one of them is hurt.
Yeah.
So they're dragging him.
The architect is fucking bleeding all over the place. They're still wearing masks. They're acting like they're trying not to be fucking obvious, but they're so fucking
No, they're
obvious.
so obvious. They're drunk. They're just
Yeah, everybody knows what
messy.
Exactly. These are the worst criminals ever. The architect Alban is. They go back to James's room, and they are. You see M fucking traumatized. Like, what the fuck is all this?
So then, boom, next scene. They're all wearing like robes. They're all wearing like little, not robes, but like
the gowns, the prison gowns.
Prison gowns that are white. And they're just sitting there like with, talking.
And we're back in the interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
We're back in the interrogation room, and they're just like, oh, well, we'll just pay to get out of this. We'll have ourselves doubled, yada, yada, yada. And then everything will be, hop, skip, and a jump later. We'll be at the resort later today.
And then it turns out they all get the cops come in and they start grabbing them. Right?
Detective Thresh just rounds them all up, and he's just like, all right. He's just like, the clones are basically, all right, well, we'll assign the papers.
No. You just gave it away.
Oh, well, all right. We'll edit that part out. Well, the fucking thieves or the fucking group is basically like, we'll just pay to get out. Let us sign our papers.
And they're pushing them out. They're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then she's like, James, James. They go into the door, and then it pans to all of them.
Well, they go back they get led to the execution room, and then for a second we think that, oh, this country's just fucking had it. They're just going to fucking execute all these fucking people.
And then they're just like, we'll pay to get out now. We'll pay to get out now. Right now. We'll pay. We'll pay. So then they're getting led into a room, and there's these blocks, these wooden blocks. And you're like, what the hell? What are those blocks doing there? And then they're pushing them. And then she's like, James, James.
They get tied to these execution blocks, and you're like, part of me is like, fucking good.
Yeah, this is the end of the movie. You're like, okay, well, this is what they get for being these pieces of shit, and thinking you could just rule the world with money.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're
James
trying to wrestle.
James has a little skirmish here. He's fighting for his life. He
has a knife.
He grabs a knife off one of the guards.
And obviously, you're not going to win because you have 5 guards. And then she's like, James, James.
I'm like, even then, you're like, what kind of chance? What are you going to do? You going to escape the prison? You're not going to do shit.
So obviously, he gets detained, and then
they all get fucking.
All get executed. They just slit their throats, and then you realize. Up in the bleachers, guess who's watching?
Everybody's been watching.
And they're just cheering on, watching themselves get killed, basically. Their clones are the ones who got killed.
Yeah.
And it's just this face he has.
It was a nice little misdirect, essentially. And you don't even know how many times these other people have basically
they've done it plenty of times.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes back, he has an urn. He's, today's souvenir. Which essentially, this is just the next day. He got murdered yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So then today he got murdered again.
So he has 2 bodies. Uh-huh.
There's the other one. And there's his wife. Peace out. I'm gone.
She's ready to get the fuck out. And her outfit's beautiful. It's great. It's super, 80s inspired. But she's smart. She's like, I gotta go. I gotta go. So then...
she's tripping out. He should be the one that's losing his fucking mind, but she's the one that's just am I losing my fucking mind? What the fuck is going on?
Well, no, she's calling him out on his shit. She's just I saw your face. I'm seeing another part of you. What's going on? You're not the guy I married.
Ooh.
And then he's go back to daddy.
That's rough. I don't remember that line.
I don't remember that.
That's a little harsh.
Bitch, I got you this book deal.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then James gets what he wants. He's basically left alone with his bodies. He's smoking a stogie. He's wearing his true face right here.
So he has that crazy mask on, smoking a ciggy. A cigar, sorry. And guess who's strolling on the beach?
No Brows McGee comes up.
No
strolling.
Brows. She comes back and she's just like sitting down, and then she's like, "What's wrong, James?" And then James says, "She left me."
Oh, she left today.
Me. She left today. And then her comments was, "It's for the best."
Yeah, it's for the best. Essentially,
she's not like us.
She's saying that women make men weak, and that she's holding him back. Essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, and then she
starts making out with him, making moves, and then she leads him back to the room,
to her cabana,
the cabana.
And he's just like, "Here, just have some of this fucking hallucinogenic tea."
Yeah,
real quick.
He's like, "Where did you get this?" And she's like, "The staff." And I was like, "Didn't the staff get you in trouble last time because he lent you the car?" But whatever, James. YOLO, live your best life, right? You're already in this fuck soup. Fuck it up more. So then James sits down and he's like, "What is this?" And it's like this weird root. It looks like a tree, a little branch, right? You know it's going to taste like caca.
Oh, yeah, so probably tastes like ass. Yeah.
You know, she's like, "Sit down, relax."
I mean, you have never taken, like, you know, weird stuff from a stranger before? This is that This is the time and place for this conversation?
Oh, is this where you need to share? Did you ever take anything from a stranger? Did you get into a van when somebody's like, "I have candy in here. You want to come in?"
I did. I mean, I knew that guy. So when he gave me
memories are going to come back 3 a.m. He touched me in a weird place.
Actually, the guy did try to sleep with me, but like he was.
But you were a grown man.
Yeah, I was a grown man, but he was trying to sleep with everybody though.
Well,
he didn't really care.
I told you have this bear persona. So I mean,
this is before I met you though. This is before.
Oh, okay.
Like
anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Anyways, he inhales this drug and he starts coughing, and you could tell she fucking did this shit like,
oh yeah, look at this. She's
like every day. She just breathed into it, and he's like, "It's horrible." She's like, "You start to like it."
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just gets trippy.
Oh yeah, it's just like, she says it's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah, and then boom, fuck fest, her and him. And then you're like, "Oh, they're alone." No, the whole posse comes in. And then it all of a sudden gets into this artistic like gangbang.
What did you say? A little discoteca gangbang?
A little discoteca gangbang at Art Basel.
So we got True Blood is sleeping with No Brows McGee while the architect is watching, and then we got the other couples, just everybody's just humping and grinding and humping.
Everybody's just
to the kaleidoscope effect. And then we come to this like little trippy thing. I want to talk about this little part here where it just becomes like very ceremonial. And let's see.
Oh,
this montage goes on for quite a bit.
Yeah, and then you realize like she's the leader of the pack.
Essentially, yeah, like, you know, like she might be the wife, but she wears the pants.
She's wearing the pants because she's kind of like smearing her blood.
Yeah, they're giving themselves like the patriotic, you know, symbol of the country. We got some weird nipple effects with like something was coming out of the nipple. So basically everybody's tripping really fucking hard. They're having a little bit of a ceremony. And then
all of a sudden it's breakfast time and they're all having breakfast.
And then we kind of just realize what is actually going on. Like they just do whatever the fuck they want all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they get away with it. So now they're just being complete obnoxious fucking assholes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking James is just fucking drunk as fuck. He's a sweaty mess. They're just being obnoxious to fucking everybody around them.
Oh, yeah. So there's a couple that's eating. And he's just kind of like throwing blueberries, jam, and just laughing. And they're not even dressed. One of them's wearing the medal that he stole. Whatever.
Like, and they just keep fucking drinking too. Like,
no, they drink.
At one point, do you like those sunglasses?
It does look like like what's it called, bracelets?
She's got bracelets on her face. It's one of those things where like at one point I would have stopped drinking. I would have felt like awful. Like, the guy's been drinking for like 3 days straight.
Well, I mean, he's doing all these new things in life, you know? He's doing all these new things.
Embrace it.
He's doing all these new things.
So apparently, like, this group, everybody, it's a big swingers, you know, group. Everybody's sleeping with everybody. He's okay with it. They're probably riddled with STDs.
Okay, so this is where it gets really kind of weird.
Okay, well, all right. So for the setup for this scene, they tell James that, hey, you want to get back at the detective that's fucking with you? He's got your passport.
He's the one that has a passport.
Yeah.
And
they're like, we're going to get him back.
So what do? They go to this building.
They're like, they're saying that the Detective Thresh is going to have a colonoscopy. We can fucking sneak in and steal Detective Thresh right before his colonoscopy, and we're going to fucking have a good time with him. And here we have the setup. They follow the ambulance to essentially what we think is a hospital. They're still drunk. They're fucking stumbling around, which I don't know how they get anything fucking done.
But they do.
And
then they end up stealing the body or taking him.
They end up stealing a fucking body. The body comes out on a fucking... James almost gets run over by the cops. James is playing fucking... He thinks he's a fucking badass. He's playing with the fucking gun. And we learn out James is not a badass by any means.
Oh, he is definitely not.
And here he almost gets run over by the cops, but the cops know that he's fucking there. And they essentially said that, yeah, the cops gave up Detective Thresh. So, you know, like I'm pretty sure they wanted to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah, he was in cahoots. So then they end up grabbing the body. So they throw the body in the car and then they dump the body.
And they get back to the cabana. They're taking more hallucinogens? I missed this part.
Yeah, they're taking some more, and they're all just waiting for James to sniff the caca juice.
And this becomes even more of a ritual. So essentially, they're just having ritual on top of ritual. Mm-hmm. And this is supposed to be like, James, just fucking murder this fucking dude. Come on.
So he just like kicks and punch and he pees on the guy and all that stuff. But then they take the bag off of his head and then you realize who is really underneath there.
See, James is having a moment, right? He's feeling very empowered, you know, he feels invincible, you know, he's kicking the shit out of this fucking guy. This will bite
him in the ass quite fast.
You know,
he thinks these are his friends.
Oh, 100%.
He's like, these are my homies. I have this new lifestyle. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to pee. I'm peeing on this guy. La, 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 la.
Everybody's peeing on this
Everybody's peeing on the guy that they captured and all that stuff. And then they take off the bag over
and you see No Brow's just fucking looking real fucking hard at him because she knows what's coming.
And boom, it's James. It's another copy of James. They were fucking with him, and James is.
Which also, like, when did they I think they copied him when they were fucking having the fuck fest the other night.
Probably.
That's when because all the discoteca lights, right? Maybe, or maybe they can just keep making copies of you once they have your DNA.
That's what I think. So he's already fucked up. He's like, and they're all laughing at him because now James is running away. And she's like, James, come back, James.
Which is weird though, because when James was watching himself being murdered, he was all for it. But when he's doing the fucking murdering, now all of a sudden he can't handle it.
He can't handle it.
Yeah, he can't cut it.
So she comes running back to his door.
They're all like, no, James, they're serenading outside the door. James, come on. James is losing his fucking mind.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know when he was fucking cloned.
And then you realize he never fucking lost his passport. He hid his passport in the bathroom underneath the fucking sink. So he decides, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to get the fuck out of this place tomorrow morning.
Mia Goth is just like, come on,
please,
baby. We'll have another orgy. Let's go. So then that means that he knows the detective wasn't holding him back.
No, he liked what happened.
But he was going with it the entire time.
Yeah. So then he is leaving the resort and they have a shuttle. So he's jumping on the shuttle and you're just like, okay, fine. And in the movie, he's going to go back. He's going to go back to his wife. He's going to go back to his life, whatever. And then all of a sudden, his little posse that he made like friends with are riding beside in their convertible. And
you don't even know where they got this convertible, who they rented it from.
But they got two of them.
They got two. So the convertible, they're in the convertible. They're doing a little drive-by. And essentially, Mia Goth, No Brows McGee shoots up the fucking bus. Everybody's fucking scared for their shit.
And she's like, let James get out. And she's like, I just want James. So he gets out.
Everybody's dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
It's the fucking early morning. Like these people were just fucking waiting for him because they knew essentially, like, yeah, he's gonna fucking dip.
Yeah.
And Mia Goth is, like you said, the leader of the fucking pack. And she's like, what are you doing in there? Come on out. And here is where you hear the titular James.
On James. And she has a gun. And she's like, James, get off the bus.
And essentially she's saying, like, we will murder everybody inside that bus if we don't get fucking James. And they'll do it because they'll just pay to get out of it.
Yeah.
So James has a bit of a fucking conscience. He walks out because he doesn't want to let everybody else get murdered.
This is a fucked up part where it's like, he's just gone. I mean, it's fucked up, but I mean, he deserves it. Like, nobody is a good person here. So James is walking. She's on the hood of the car eating chicken and she is drunk and they're just driving slowly and he's just walking ahead and she's on top of the car, just mocking him.
They're making fun of him. They're making him do a walk of shame back to the resort, and they're like you're a baby.
Yeah.
You're a whiny piece of shit.
But then she says something about his book. Mm-hmm.
Look, she says that basically it's revealed that we were just here. We were fucking with you the entire time. We were going to get you in trouble, but you got yourself in trouble.
Yeah. We picked you out pretty much. Oof. And we wanted to have fun with you.
Nobody's read
and
your
book. And your book sucks. And she reads his bad review.
Which essentially is, I mean, not essentially, but...
it's kind of funny.
Well, it's kind of funny because she was playing into his fucking ego.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God, your book's amazing.
This is the only part that really hurts when he turns around. He's like, you didn't read my book?
Yeah, I didn't read my book. And then...
well... This is like the thing that...
it's like a walk of shame.
Oh, it's 100% a walk of shame. And they're fucking loving it too because, you know, they're just making this guy fucking... But if he would have killed himself last night, or if he would have killed himself the night before, would they have like still gone with it?
Can we both agree that we would have just... her?
Oh, from the beginning?
Oh, man.
You guys...
oh, man.
Man, you know, we never... Spoiler alert, we never really get that part. Like, we never get, like, that resolution where you kind of want these people to get their fucking comeuppance.
It's just so fucked up. So anyways, he's doing the walk of shame and he's just like, she's screaming.
He's crying.
And she's like, it was terrible. And she's like reading like the terrible reviews on the book. Right.
Saying his book had nothing to say, written by somebody who doesn't know how to write.
It's just terrible, terrible stuff. And then he just had it.
Oh, yeah.
He had it. That was the breaking point. About the book. And then he tries to grab her gun. And she's like, oh, no, Jamie.
She's not afraid at all.
Yeah, she's not afraid at all for some reason. And like his little posse, her little posse, it's just like, la, 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 la.
Nobody's doing it. Like, it seems like it doesn't matter that he might be younger and stronger than everybody.
Yeah.
But it's just like, just because he's been so humiliated, it's like they have completely overpowered him. So he's just kind of like a weak piece of shit.
So he takes off, right? So he runs
off into the bush. Nobody's even really trying to fight him. He's just bad at fighting.
And then she starts shooting into the air. And of course he gets hit because he's an idiot.
Because, I mean, you got a zig and zag. Everybody knows that.
So he drags his ass. Oh no, somebody finds him. He's like walking and walking and walking and he
finds this essentially a little farm.
Yeah, a little farm.
Which I don't know what the fuck that is. A weird fucking metal
shed or something.
Well, that's like a metal silo.
But then it's actually nice inside, so hey-oh.
Hey-oh.
So then he wakes up in bed.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, what the fuck? So then he's having these crazy dreams.
Well, no. You don't know it's a dream yet.
Oh, you don't know it's a dream.
No.
So that little boy who his daddy got killed, he was the one who got run over.
And for a second though, I thought this was fucking perfect. Like he ends up at the house of the person he murdered. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking perfect.
It's revenge. It's revenge.
And then you get this weird fucking sinister smile from this fucking kid.
Oh yeah. As he's choking him.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's revealed.
No, straight up, I would have kicked that kid in the face. I would have kicked him. I would have.
And then it's revealed that it's basically a dream, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he cracks open his face because essentially James still might be fucking tripping. Anytime I see these lights, I basically think he's tripping.
Yeah, he's tripping. And it turns out that it's his wife underneath there.
Yeah.
And she's like, please help me. Please help me.
As she's smiling at him, which is fucking weird. And at this point, I would have gone, like, at this point when I saw this, I was like, oh, he's been tripping the entire time. And, like, it's his wife that's having a good time because essentially his wife's uber rich and not him. I thought she might have been part of the group. I would have thought that would have been a nice little change.
I just thought he was just tripping balls. And then.
Well, you know, you ever have that, you know, after, like, you know.
I have tripped balls, but never to this extent.
Well, like you've tripped balls, but then like a day or two later, like you're still having weird fucking dreams because it's still in your system. No, just me? All right, never mind.
Okay, just you.
All right, so he's still tripping balls. He's still seeing some stuff.
And then he wakes up.
He wakes up. His clothes are clean.
He's still in the barn.
He's in the barn. He's actually in the barn. You're like, oh shit, but is he actually in that house, in that, you know, these people's house?
And guess who's waiting for him?
How long were they fucking there?
No, they were drinking again.
And then, boom, they just been waiting for him the entire fucking time.
And they look all cleaned up. Are they wearing the same clothes? Who even knows?
Yeah, I think they were wearing the same clothes.
And then they're just kind of mocking him. And then one of the guys, he's like, come with me, come forward. It's okay, James. It's okay. And I believe they hand him a knife. And he's just like, why do I need this? I don't need this. And then she's like, for your protection, bring the dog. And then you realize that's not a fucking dog. That's like a human with, that's James. It's his copy.
Yeah, this is James from the other night. They basically fucking dehumanized the clone. And you could tell it's James from the other night because
it has the scars. Yeah.
It has the scars on his face from being beat up. And this clone is also tripped. They just love this fucking... this root. Yeah.
So then they sick the dog out on him and he refuses to take the knife and they're like, you need it for your whatever.
Yeah. But you need it if you want to basically, I don't know. I want to say like either be one of us or this is for your own good. Cause they say that it's like, this is for your own good, you know, which I don't really know if they're actually trying to make him one of them or they were still just fucking with them. And then they sick the dog. And
she's like, the knife is for your own good. I repeated that 3 times. I believe she kept on going. So then they fight. They fight. They're both fighting basically themselves. James is fighting James. Yeah. And he just gets ballistic and he ends up killing. And I think he gouges out the dog's eyes.
I think so. James the dog is biting James the man. He's not trying to fight him, but the dog is obviously winning. And James is getting choked, much like in his dreams. And then I want to see how he actually gets the upper hand on him. He just turns him over. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He just turns him over and starts pounding on his face to the point where his face is just like a
fucking hamburger meat.
Yeah, yeah. Like he has no more eyeball.
Yeah. It becomes a little fucking gruesome.
Yeah.
And then James is basically just, his hands are drenched in his clone's blood. He starts crying. No brows comforts him. And then we get a little bit more of a weirder scene.
And it's like that weird nipple drinking thing.
Yeah, which I don't really.
She's just a weird one.
Yeah, which, you know, could be that just James is a fucking baby.
He is a baby.
A big old fucking baby.
So then, as he's drinking the nipple
smeared in blood, which I missed the first time.
Yeah.
Then it's the next day.
And then he calls his wife and he's like, I'm really sorry and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, they all get into the bus together.
Yeah, then it just becomes...
the shuttle back to the airport. Like nothing. And they're in regular clothes. Like no flashy makeup. They just look regular. Yeah. No makeup, no nothing. And then talking about their day. What are they going to do when they get back?
Oh, I got to get back to work.
I'm going to redo closets. He's going back to work. So I'm going to be so alone.
And then James is sitting in the back of the bus.
Just like, what the fuck, man? Like,
and part of this is just like, yeah, maybe James isn't part of the group because he's not really engaged in this conversation. But James is...
You can tell in this part that he's just like really stepping back and realizing what kind of douchebags these people are. And like, what the fuck did I do? Like, he's just taking it all in.
He's taking, essentially...
And he's not talking at all. All these other people are talking, and they're all at the airport, and their flight, like, everybody's going. And James is just sitting there.
James is sitting there. He's just like, hey, it's super nice to meet you. Yeah, maybe we can do this again next year. Hope to see you. And they just very casually, you know, without any fucking, I forgot what the word is, but without basically any airs, they're just like, yeah, peace out. I'll see you later.
Nothing. Yeah, have a great day.
Have a great day. Like nothing ever happened. Like they didn't just spend the last.
And he is just standing in the middle of the airport, like watching everybody, like, oh my God, what the fuck? And you could tell he cannot go back.
Well, he just
whatever he's been through, he cannot go back. Like, and he's just sitting there.
Well, I think it's more like, yeah, he didn't come to any realization he's still a fucking big baby and he can't accept what he's done and he can't face, you know, his fucking life after this.
True. So he's looking at his passport and his ticket and he's just thinking.
And he goes back to the fucking resort and
it's rainy season and he's just there thinking about everything.
And he's sitting in the rain.
And you're just like, fuck.
This guy's fucked up. And this could have been like their whole thing from the beginning, just to fuck with him.
Well, yeah, they picked him out, you know, and it's fucked up. And that's it.
Credits roll.
Credits roll.
So Ming, what do you think?
I think that she would have pushed me. And like she would have, like the way nonchalant, she was just like, oh yeah, I'll see you next year. Like,
you would have lost it?
Yeah, I would have lost it.
Okay.
It was a good movie.
Would you recommend it to anybody?
I would recommend it because I feel like everybody has a different opinion of James and her and like,
that's fair.
You know.
And then, all right, so if you could rate it 1 out of 10, what would you rate it?
A 7.
7? It's pretty decent. It's pretty. I'm gonna do a 6.5 James clones out of 10. Yeah.
He just needs to be different.
And well, I mean, like it was good, but I wouldn't say it was amazing. Like
no, it wasn't amazing. It's a 7 because it makes you angry. You go through so many emotions. You're mad. You want to kill. You want to do this.
Yeah, you
come to acceptance. You feel bad for him for some reason, even though he's a douche McGee. And it's just like there's so many emotions.
So in your argument, because it made you feel all these emotions at the
because
movie,
I got the feels. It's a 7.
The movie did its job by making you
think,
feel, and think what it wanted to. Okay.
Yeah, like I would punch that actress in the face.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'd be like, you say James one more time.
She's kind of all over the place right now. She's in all these other movies too. Like, good for her.
Yeah.
And she's acting like deranged in all of them.
She's good at playing crazy.
Yeah. So we got to watch the other movie Pearl and see what you think about that one.
Okay.
All right. So that was our episode. Thank you, Ming. Well, how'd you feel about your first episode, kiddo?
I think I burped a couple of times.
That's fine. We can edit that stuff.
You let me know if I can come back.
Okay. All right. Have a nice night, everybody.
See you later. Did you just smile? Like,